Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are working on an arrowhead pattern that I threw together myself. It combines having chevrons and then arrowheads and then a diamond right in the center of it just to add to some of the symmetry. And then the diamond allows it to flip the design to go back the same way, just go in the other direction. So that's kind of a neat little trick if you're looking to try making your bracelets go, both directions, kind of like this one's flaring outwards. A simple diamond will do it. And yeah, I kind of was excited about doing this one because I want to make some more of these single-stranded bracelets where this is about the size that most of them will probably be. And I wanted to do a simple pattern so that way I could kind of work out like how long is the average time for something like this. Well, this one was almost exactly 2 hours, so that's kind of okay. I can probably work this out into my schedule with the videos and stuff. It was nicer before with the bit fatter bracelets that went quicker, where I could do it in an hour. It kind of allowed me to have more time to figure out what kind of patterns and designs and things I want to do, and kind of the stuff that's necessary behind the scenes to actually keep these videos coming out. But I think I can continue making this size and still kind of keep it together, hopefully fingers crossed. Because I kind of like this kind of bracelet, these nice thin ones. It's especially kind of nice here where we have so much humidity all the time. The thin bracelets just seem like they dry out a little bit faster. So they might not last as long. I don't really know. I haven't really kind of given the thin one the full test to see like how many years it'll last. I know that like the ones that I'm wearing are holding up really well, but I'm not sure comparatively speaking. Like I had a bracelet last me 6 years before I decided that the strands that tied it together were getting a little bit too frayed, and I didn't want to lose it, so I took it off. So I know that like the thick ones can last at least 6 years. So I don't know. This is sped up as fast as I could make it go, and I think it's still just fine for if you're trying to figure out how I did the segment knotting. If you're looking at it, I think you could still make out what like directions and what things were doing and stuff like that. I mean, it's not the kind of video where you're gonna sit and do the knots the same as me. That would have taken 2 hours to do that. If you were interested in that, I would suggest becoming a YouTube member, because this was all live streamed over on YouTube. So if you're a member, you can actually see that in real time and have me talking to you, and it's kind of fun. So yeah, it's like it's like $4 a month. Hang on, I might as well hit the thing. So these are my members so far. These are the guys that are help keeping the channel going, and I do really appreciate it. And they have, like I said, they have the access. They can come in and hang out with me while I'm making stuff. And yeah, I think it's kind of a cool way of me trying to give back to the community that has helped make this channel as good as it is. So I did still use string that was 1/3 of a skein's length, and this was actually the leftover string from the last one, the rainbow, the asymmetrical rainbow thing. So that one used 2/3 of each skein, and then the leftover 1/3 went into this. And obviously it didn't need to have the strings that long. There was a lot of string left over, and this pattern kind of really balanced out the colors, so that way there wasn't like one color that was shorter than the others or anything like that. It was well balanced. It went well, so that was pretty cool. And I'm really familiar with arrowheads. Like, arrowheads are kind of my thing. And I kind of didn't need to really look at the pattern much while I was doing this. There was a little bit of like making sure that I wasn't going too far with it or whatever, and so like I kind of, once I got the arrowhead started, kind of moved that down the pattern to look like, okay, what happens in the center, what colors go where to do what to make the diamond. And once that was done, started going the arrowhead the other direction. Again, I just needed to see like, well, where does it sort of end? And yeah, it was comforting to have a pattern that wasn't so complicated that it was an issue. Oh, I did have an issue though. Every once in a while, the end of my strings would end up with like just trying to get themselves into this little tiny knot. I have no idea what the cause is for that. I don't know, like, if it's just the string is swinging around and it just randomly sometimes does that. I don't know, but you'll see there was a couple times where I kind of stopped what I was doing to take out these little knots. There's another. I just don't like it because when you pull the string through, it kind of catches a little bit. And so I try to undo those before they become an actual full-on knot. So there's the diamond in the center. What I love about the being able to make the diamonds in the center is, like I said, it flips all of the stuff around. So everything that was above it is exactly the order of the strings are exactly the same. So that way you can go back the other direction. Now, way back in the day, I used to do this and I would just try to do it out of memory. Didn't, mark down the patterns and stuff because I didn't have a computer to do it. Which was much more difficult, and it made for some fun experiments. And yeah, I would have to unclip it and take a look and look at the first half and try to figure out like, okay, so I went this way, how do I go the other way? And I think because the arrowhead is sort of one of those patterns that's sort of semi-intuitive, I think that's why I leaned into these patterns so well, is because I could figure out how to get it to go the other direction and make it turn out pretty neat. But now we have computers, we have patterns, we have akaawol.com where you can go look at patterns, and yeah, it's just so much easier now than back in the day, back in the late 80s. Crazy when I think about like how long I've been doing bracelets. Like that's wow. So yeah, after this project, my intention is I want to try the last pattern we did, but I want to scale it down a little bit. I want to make it a little bit smaller, and I think that the math will let that work. I don't know. We're gonna see. So tomorrow's video should be kind of interesting. We'll see how well that pans out. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it though. I guess that's why I make these videos, is I still get excited about coming up with ideas for knots and patterns and designs and stuff like that. And I want to get you guys excited so that way you guys will make stuff. And even if you can't make it, if you're not, you give it a try and it's just not for you, I have a whole shop. You can go check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff. It even now has bracelets that my wife has made where it's beaded work. It's really complicated beaded work that makes these like, I want to say it's almost a cylinder, but it's something. I don't know. They're amazing. You should check those out for sure. Yeah, we're kind of, let's see, it goes to the green, blue, and then the dark blue. So we're getting towards the end here. I also liked the chevrons. I didn't mention this. There's chevrons at the beginning and the end of this which sort of extends the length of the bracelet without having to do more of the arrowhead. But it also kind of gives it a definite, interesting kind of look to it. It kind of like it just, the arrowhead sort of comes to an end, and then it just sort of ripples out. I think that's a fun look to add to a bracelet. So that's kind of combining different designs and stuff together into one thing, which I don't think you really get from some of the other websites. Like, they'll give you the arrowhead pattern, but it doesn't suggest that maybe the arrowhead has chevrons or has a diamond or has anything else. So combining these patterns together, I think it gives it a different look that you might not get elsewhere. So hopefully that gets you guys to want to try out some of the graph paper and make something yourself, because I think that it's a nice addition to what can be done. So yeah, so now all the colors start to come in. It kind of wraps around that last blue one to start the chevrons, and then you'll notice I'll do a left and then a left again, and then do the right and right again. And it's just a rhythmic thing that I discovered a long time ago when I was working outdoors, where, you know, the string is already sort of settled down from being blown in the wind, and it made it easier to just, if you're already on one side, just go ahead and do that again. So yeah, that's what you're seeing here. I still do it to this day. Even though there's no wind in the office, I still do it just because it just is a little bit faster. Turns out nice. So here comes the big reveal. Thank you for watching. You've hung out here this long. That's totally awesome. And yeah, if you could hit the like button, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.